Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, NFL Network analyst Kurt Warner.
Yeah,
Kurt,
hey, how we doing?
You look good, dude.
Wow.
I'm just rolling out of bed here. I'm on West Coast time, so just rolling out of bed, man.
Okay, it's 12:16 over here. I was going to judge you, but you're Kurt Warner. Okay, I would never do that. Never do that. The hair and beard right now look, hey, fantastic.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. You know, I always have a little bit of something.
When did you turn completely gray? Because I got gray on the sides. I got gray in the beard. I'm hoping I go white. I hope it does. When did it happen for you?
Are you going to let it go that way? I mean, I notice I'm like one of the only few guys on TV that have any gray hair. I can't figure it out even. It's crazy to me. But I have no idea. It's been a gradual process, but my wife likes it, so to me, it's like, all right, I'm just, you roll with it.
Hey, we know your wife too.
Oh yeah,
Yep. Don't we?
There you go.
Yeah. Remember you made me watch that. What was that? What
American Underdog.
You made me watch that Hallmark movie. That's the first movie that I've ever watched in my life where I was, except for Flipper. I think that Flipper was the what was the whale?
Free Willy.
Free Willy was that what I watched as a kid. I said I'm never doing that again. I was crying my eyes out at the end of that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm doing comedies, sports movies, wrestling, live football. That's all I'm doing for the rest of my life, and I stuck to that. Then I'm like, Kurt Warner movie's coming out. I can't wait to watch this football. I'm crying my eyes out, Kurt. You're an incredibly inspiring human being. Your wife is fantastic, and I will keep my hair going as white and gray as possible, just like you, because to all those people that don't do it, we know. You know,
we know. We definitely know. So I got a guy sitting next to me on the set every Sunday that we give him crap all the time. Like, we know, dude. Like, we know you're not fooling anybody. But he's trying. He's trying.
How about some of that beard stuff they put in there where it just looks like you?
That's the time. Oh, yeah.
It's like purple.
Paint. It's like paint. Yeah.
Yeah, like your beard turns purple, and you got to apply that every single morning. Is that what you're doing? Anyways, I hope I look as good as you, Kurt. Let's move on here. I know you have a vested interest in this particular draft class because of familia. Have you looked at all the quarterbacks of this draft class, and how is this become? Is this like a new thing of yours, or? Like, how do you feel about your judgment of the quarterbacks going into the draft versus, like, all the draft experts? Is that why you're doing it, or are you just doing this for future research for guys whenever they make it into the league?
Here's the biggest thing, Pat, is I always say I'm glad I'm not in that business, the GM business, where I have to try to project how somebody is going to play at the next level, because that, to me, is what all of it is a projection. You know as well as I do, nobody is going to be able to stay who they are in college and be great at the NFL level. All of these guys are going to have to get better. All of these guys have things that they have to work on. So now you're just trying to juggle and go, okay, but who do we think gives us the best chance? Who do we think can become that Tom Brady who was, a decent college quarterback but became a great NFL quarterback? Who can project forward? And that's why, to me, I like to break these guys down in what I see at the college level. What I try to say, hey, these things could be transferable at the next level. But it's just, who's going to get better? Like, who's going to be great? Who's going to improve on all of their skills at the next level is really what it comes down to. But, I just think you have so many people that have so many different takes that, to me, I just break them down because I want to see what they did in college and see how that does translate, how they do move forward. But more importantly, just to show people, hey, this is the college tape. This is, to me, what the college tape says. But that doesn't guarantee anything, good or bad, at the next level.
I think a lot of ex-players all feel the same way you do, and that's because we, have sat in the locker room and seen a class of rookies come in, and 3 of them are supposed to change the trajectory of our entire team. These guys, 3 of these guys are supposed to do it. And then, these guys didn't even make the final cut. Like these guys didn't even make the roster. These guys were gone after 6 months. These guys couldn't figure out how to be pros. That's just the reality of rookies in the NFL because there's only so many spots on any team in the NFL to be gained. But whenever you're talking these first 5 picks, it's like, hey, this is going to change the program forever. Yeah. This is who's going to be able to get us to a Super Bowl. And you and I are both old. You're a little bit more than me, but you're much more wiser than I. That's all that means. We talked to Poles the other day down at the annual league meetings, and he was like, Caleb Williams is the biggest NIL athlete of all time. All time. So he already has money, has already had to manage money, has already managed like family and friends knowing that he has money, knowing that he has. Is that a benefit, you think, or a bad, like I'm trying to figure, I think it's almost like a good thing that because all the bullshit when you get money is a lot. That's a lot if you've never had it before. So him having almost have that already passed, I think that's almost a benefit for these young guys.
I think it can definitely be a benefit. We've so many guys that have come into money for the first time when they make it to the NFL, and they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to understand who to trust. They're trying to figure out how to manage it with their family because their family hasn't had money before. And so that is always a challenge. But, even with all that stuff being said, we can talk about all these other things. Bottom line, again, is who's going to improve their game and be great.
Who loves ball? Level. Who loves ball? Yeah. That's really.
We've seen so many great college quarterbacks that didn't amount to much in the NFL because they're the same guy 5 years into the NFL as they were in college. And so that to me is the only thing that really matters. We use that word ceiling all the time, Pat. Like, hey, their ceiling is so high. We have no idea what anybody's ceiling is until they reach it. Like, we don't know how high it is until they show us that they can reach that high. But that's what we really need to know. I need to know how high these guys' ceiling is so I can see how far they can go and how much better they can become. And so all we're trying to do is check boxes of, he made a lot of money, so we'll be able to handle money. His teammates love him in college, so he'll be able to, people will love him in the locker room. At the end of the day, how do you work? How do you play? And all of that stuff is the most important thing when you get to the next level. And I'm not going to sit here and project it because A, it's not my job. And B, I think it's impossible to do. We have to just wait and see, but we got to make our best guess based on what we've seen 1, 2, 3 years of these guys' career.
Work ethic's the most important thing in any field. Trying to figure out if somebody has it or not. And just because they're great in college doesn't mean that they have a great work ethic. That might be just natural ability, like legit. Yeah, okay. There's, especially with how the game is, with how open it is and everything like that. We're not just talking about quarterbacks. We're talking about every position. Some people on the field, you put them out there, they're the most athletic person on the field. They'll be able to do whatever the hell they want. Well, they had to have worked to get to that point. No, I'm not. No, some guys just roll out of bed like that. Yeah. Some guys roll out of bed like that. What do you think they were saying about your ceiling whenever you were on that cornfield practicing for the Barnstormers? What do you think? This guy, he's good. He's a good line dancer. Seems to be a good teammate. Boys like hanging out with him. He can chuck corn better than anybody we got. Grocery store, not bad. I think that's probably why you feel the way you feel, huh? Because your own personal experience of what people thought of you and what you could be.
Well, yeah. Because I felt my ceiling was higher than what other people felt it was. And that was, for me, it was like, I don't think they've seen me play enough. I don't think they understand what I'm capable of. I don't think they understand the mental side of it, which, again, is a whole nother side, Pat. I'm watching tape. I don't get a chance to sit in a room with these guys and ask them why.
Yeah.
I would want to be able to watch them make a play and go, okay, why did you throw it here? Why did you read this? Why did you make this decision? I don't get the opportunity to do that, which to me would help me go a lot further.
No, but you don't get sports media, Kurt.
Nope.
It's not about knowing it. It's just about feeling it.
Guessing it.
And projecting it as a fact. What are you talking about?
Come on.
This is opinions or facts thing.
Watching him on tape, he shows it time and time and time again. You watch him throw at the combine in person, and you're like, okay, there's something there throwing the football, and he's played at a high level. So I'm excited about that. Drake May. Again, the tape is kind of inconsistent, but you see the traits and you see if he can clean up some of the things, what he's capable of. Talking to people saying he's a football junkie. We talk about a football junkie, a guy that loves the game. He's one of those guys that just loves talking ball and wants to go out and play ball. So I think there's unbelievable potential there.
Yeah.
I know J.J. McCarthy is sprung up the boards. I wouldn't say I'm, as high on him just off of his college tape as some people are, but I do see why there's things to like. What he did in college, the winner that he is, the system that he played in, playing under center. I believe there is definitely some tools there that can make him an NFL starter without a doubt. I just want to see more. I want to see him carry a team because, in most situations, you got to be able to do that if you're a franchise quarterback. So I do believe that there are a number of guys in this class that will be starting quarterbacks in the National Football League, and they will be solid players in the league. I don't know, as we keep saying, I don't know how many will be superstars.
Yeah.
But I do believe we've got some good players here that will project to be good players in the NFL.
You talk about work ethic there for Michael Penix, the guy you said you like. It's like 2 ACLs, those rehabs, not fun. You know, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of alone time, isolated time. That's a lot of painful times, teaching your knee to be a knee again. The metal bar scraping the scar tissue off, signing up to do, you remember, yeah. Kurt, think about it. Nobody even really, unless you went through it, you have no idea. Like, he's signing up to go in to do that for 2.5, 3 months straight. It's like, I think mentally, checks a lot of boxes if you just look at what his history was. And he's taller and bigger than when you see him in person. And him running a 4.4 or 4.5, it's like, wait a minute. I think that was a surprise to us all. And when you talk about Drake May, we talked a little bit earlier about guys rolling out of bed, being able to do this. Like, Drake May's been bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic than everybody he's been on the field with probably since he started playing football, if we had to guess. And you're talking about his technique and stuff, right? It feels like that's what a lot of the quarterback guys that are talking about Drake May are like. He needs to time up his feet and his arm. He could do that with work. He just needs a little bit more growth. Is that what you're talking about whenever you speak about the North Carolina 12-year-old looking kid? He looks like a young lad with that clean shave.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, he missed too many what I call layups. Like, when you get to the NFL, you got to make the layups. You got to make the layups 99% of the time. And by that, I mean, you know, the reads you're supposed to make that are easy reads on certain plays, the throws you're supposed to make that are easy throws. And he misses too many of those. You know, his feet would get out of whack. He'll bounce in the pocket. He'll be off on his timing. And he just misses too many of those throws. And then he makes the special throw that's 30 yards down the field and that wows you. But I think the one thing that I see every week when watching tape in the NFL is the guys that make the layups give their team a chance to win every time out. Even if they don't make all these special plays, even if they don't run around and aren't these great playmakers, you make the layups that are in front of you, the reads you're supposed to make, those throws that you're supposed to make, and allow the guys in front of you to do their job. You give yourself a chance every single week. And that's what the best quarterbacks in the league do, and they don't depend on having to be special to get there. And so that to me is what, you know, I need to see from Drake May. Can you be that guy that makes the layups, or do you have to hang on those 5 or 6 special plays that you make each game?
There's been a trend here of every quarterback that has been in the NFL and played games saying the same things.
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, these throws are that's like in the kicking world, like field goal kickers. Like when I was in high school, I go to a couple camps, and I'm just lining up at 65 and just bombing it over everybody's head, and it's an immediate, whoa, look, this guy's leg is gigantic. What I should have been doing is, you know,
locking in,
going into the. You're kicking a lot more 30-yarders, you know, and 40-yarders than you're kicking 65-yarders in this entire thing.